welcome to another episode of the Bella Grace podcast, where we are helping you transform your life, mind, body, and soul. Whether you are struggling to find balance, using unhealthy behaviors or substances to cope, or you just want to unlock the root cause of what's holding you back from living your best life, Bella Grace Coaching can help you transform your life, mind, body, and soul. And this week we're doing it by discussing how to
build healthy relationships.
Yes.
Okay, let's do this.
Yes, let's do it. So, as you guys know, Rosie and I have been friends for a few years. We met at a Bible study at a friend of ours' house, Anna. Yeah. And when I met you guys, I didn't really have very many friends in the Dallas area.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I had been here since 2017. I met y'all in 2021, I think. Yeah. And so it had been, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24 years of not really having good, deep-rooted friendships. And for me, it was important to have God-centered relationships with friends.
Definitely.
Because back home in Lubbock, I had a bunch of friends, but they were all friends from my church. And when I moved, we lost our center of connection, right? Because we would hang out on Sundays while we were all serving. We hung out in the kids' church because we served in the kids' church. We hung out at conferences. We served together. We did prison ministry together. Like, we did all these things together. But when I moved, they were all busy doing that stuff still. And it's hard to drive 5 hours to see friends.
Yeah.
So I was here and I was struggling. It is hard to live life without good friendships.
Yes.
Someone to turn to. And I'm married and I have a daughter. But there's something about having a girlfriend that you can turn to and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can you please hang out with me and talk to me and pray?
Yeah.
That was the big thing for me. I didn't have friends here that I could say, hey, I need you to pray for me.
Yeah.
And that was what I was missing for so long.
Yeah. And we're not saying that you need friends here to pray for you. Friends can pray for you in the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But it just makes a difference when they're closer to home. And
because you want to be able to say, hey, Rosie, can we go for coffee?
Yeah.
Hey, can we just go for a walk around the park? That's what Tracy and I do all the time. Like, Tracy she will even, if I can't go on a walk with her, she'll just come get my dog.
Like, I'm going to walk your dog.
Yeah.
You can walk yourself, Teresa.
She's like, hey, are you available to go for a walk? And I'm like, no, I'm busy. And my dog's ears are like twitching because that's the key word. We say go for a W so that she doesn't get all excited. But yeah, Tracy she'll call and say, hey, I really need to go for a walk. Are you available? And if I'm not, I'm like, no. Well, can I come get banana?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
But it's important to have those friendships.
Friendships and connections with people are very important. However, we need to be careful about the friends and people we allowed into our home, in our lives, and even, our spirit.
Yeah.
Because not everyone has good intentions for you, and not everyone is for you, because you're not everyone's cup of tea. I'm drinking tea.
Yes.
And that's okay, because some people like coffee, some people drink water. I mean, we're all different, and that's okay. But you just have to find the right circle of friends that are right for you. Friends who are going to encourage you, uplift you. Friends who are going to pray for you. Friends who are not going to judge you. Friends who are not going to backstab you.
Yeah.
Friends who are not going to gaslight you.
Yes.
That's all very important. So how do we build those relationships? Because we all want them and we all need them.
Yeah, we all need them. And I think so let's start there, because I think in our individualistic society, we have the tendency to just go on about our lives doing our own thing. And we live on our own little island. Yeah. And that might look like, if you're married, you and your spouse and your kids, and life revolves around your nuclear family.
Yeah.
For some people, if they're single and still live at home with their parents, that might look like just doing life with your immediate family. Yeah. Mom, dad, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins. I've been guilty of that. It might also look like isolating yourself to one or two friends. But we get stuck on this loop of work, dinner, sleep, repeat. Yeah. And then life comes out of nowhere and it hits you. And if you don't have a circle to turn to, a community to turn to, oftentimes your island is not sufficient to sustain you through storms. And so it's important to have that community around you. Because I know, when I've talked about it before on the podcast, like when my fiance passed away, I had a whole slew of people around me, friends. I got judged for it because I had like 5 people living in my house. But it was the only way that I could cope and survive that time, because it was just my daughter and me, my brother, but he was a nurse at the time. Everybody has their own lives. And so no one can be there with you 100% of the time. So it's important to have a bigger community who can come in and bring dinner or bring drinks.
I once had this friend who told me, you have to have like 5 different kind of friends. Mm-hmm. A friend that you can run to for chismes, a friend that you can run to for prayer, and another friend you can come to for certain different things. Mm-hmm. And I never thought about that. I guess because to me, I feel like a friend should one person should all have that.
Should meet all the needs.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, we're not perfect, and that's okay. Yeah. Because I'm sure that you could probably run to me for I don't know, what would you run to me for?
I go to you when I need to laugh, when I need to have fun, when I need wisdom. You're a pretty diverse friend. Okay. Because I know that you're
workout too.
Yeah, yes, and fashion advice. You're so fashionable. So this is from Rosie. She bought it. It's my early birthday present. My birthday is in a month?
Yes,
less than a month. Mm-hmm. Isn't it cute? She's so fashionable.
I have the same one. So maybe one day we'll be twinning.
Yeah, we'll twin it out. But anyway, so you're a versatile friend. But I have other friends too who serve different purposes, and I serve different purposes to different people.
Yeah, because different people bring out different things in you.
Yeah. So for one of our friends, I am her mom, her mother figure when she knows she's
I'm a big sister to a lot of.
Yeah. When she knows she's not doing what she's supposed to, and she wants to kind of be called out on it and given some guidance back to where. Yeah, exactly. She comes to me and she will sit on my couch for hours and we will talk through it. And I'm like, listen, stop doing that. Do not do that.
Why do you keep doing that? I told you. That's it. No.
Yeah. And then for another friend of ours, she comes to me when she really just needs to unload and not feel guilt and shame about the things that are going on in her life, because I'm a safe place. I am a place where she can come and not feel judged.
Yeah, I'm a safe place too.
Yeah. And with you, I know that you are deep rooted in the word.
I am.
And so when I was struggling last year when my mom was sick, I went to you and Anna the most. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, you were here, we did the If Gathering last year, and just having you around even made my mom feel more solid.
Really?
Yeah. So you're
the first time I'm hearing this.
Yes, you're
right. That I have that impact on you and others, it makes me feel good, because I feel like, yes, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a very calming and steady foundation place to land in a storm, but you also bring humor to it.
I always bring humor because awkward situations need something funny. I do that all the time. I noticed, but I think it's also because I get nervous, so I don't know how to.
Yeah. So you're just funny.
Funny.
I love it. But yeah, it's important to have those relationships so that when crap hits the fan, because the crap has hit the fan for me, and I didn't have those solid relationships. And I've told y'all about it before, but when my stepson, my daughter's half brother, died by suicide March of 2020, and it was before I met y'all.
Yeah.
And I did not have a solid foundation of community here. And we all know he passed away on March 13th, 2020.
Yeah.
And that was the last day that the kids in Texas went to school because spring break started the next week. And the state of Texas basically said, like, everybody's going on spring break and we don't know when we're coming back. The schools are closed indefinitely until further notice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to grieve my stepson, and I raised him from when he was a little guy until, he was adopted at 10. And then even then his adopted mother let me and my daughter be a part of his life. He was at all of her birthday parties. We went to his baseball games. We went to his football games. Like, he would call her every Friday night, and I would come home and they'd be on, video chat. Like, we were all very close. And so grieving him without community was the hardest thing. My brother, who has always been my rock, lived in Oklahoma City at the time. Maybe he was in Kansas already. I can't remember, but he did not live here. And so him and my sister-in-law and my nephew and niece came down for the weekend. But when they left on Sunday, I was by myself again.
Yeah.
And I had my husband and I had my daughter, and my poor husband was trying to help both of us grieve. But like we said, one person can't do it all.
Mm-mm.
One person can't one person cannot serve all of your needs. Yeah. And when you and your daughter are unable to get out of bed and function properly, and there's only one person here to try to help you go, it's a lot.
It's a big load on just one person.
Yeah.
And it can be overwhelming also.
Yeah, it was very overwhelming. And that season is the reason I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Because it got to where I was working from home. The car business was shut down for about 3 months. So we were just home. And it was like, I'd wake up early, get all my work done, be done by like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and start drinking. And then we wouldn't stop until, And so it was just that constant cycle because I didn't have anybody. Mm-hmm. All of my family was far away. All of my friends and family were dealing with the pandemic and all of that uncertainty. And so it was literally me sitting in my backyard with a bottle of vodka or a bottle of wine, FaceTiming, video chatting, anybody who would answer, just desperate for community. And so when I quit drinking in August of 2020, I was like, I have to make friends. I can't go through another season like that alone. It will kill me.
Yeah.
It will. And that's when I had always known the importance of friendship, and I'd always had a community around me, always. I was the hippie commune mom. My house was known as the hippie commune. Like, I took in strays. You could come to Teresa's house for dinner. Like,
I used to take in stray dogs.
Yeah, so you get it. My door was always open. Like, all of my old friends from when I used to do drugs, like, they knew if they were ready to get sober, they could come to my house and I'd help them get sober. Like, that was my house was always open. And then moving here, It was just my husband, me, and my daughter in this house.
Yeah, because you're somewhere new and you have to start from scratch. And it's hard.
It is hard.
Find friends, especially as adults. Because when you're little, you're like, oh, can we share? Can we play together? Oh, yeah, okay.
And you just bond. Yeah.
But now you're like, you have to bond on your beliefs. You have to talk about how do you live your life? Well, you know, what kind of habits you have or
hobbies and interests. And when you live in a world like we do where it's like work, go to, you know, work, dinner, sleep, work, dinner, sleep.
It's hard to make friendships. Yeah. It's hard. That same thing happened to me when I moved here because I was raised in Chicago and I moved around a couple of times from Texas to Chicago, back and forth. But I've been here now for 10 years and I moved from Chicago. But when I first moved, I was so depressed too. I got homesick because I was so used to being surrounded by my big family, my sisters and friends and places where I grew up and with people that I just knew from school. So having to be here in a new city was really hard. And I was so depressed. Yeah. And it was like, I love my husband and I know he tried his best, but he is my best friend. Yeah. But there's only so much a person can provide for you because if I need makeup advice,
you can't
hair advice, outfit advice. I mean, my husband's very simple but laid back. He's like, oh yeah, you look good.
You look good. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but like, does this color really go with my skin tone?
Does it wash me out?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, but I needed that sisterhood too and that friendship. And I feel like I tried so hard with some of my sister-in-laws and it didn't work because we're like,
you're just different.
Yeah, we're just different and that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. But sometimes like when you want a relationship to work so bad because you're lonely and depressed, you end up
lowering your standards.
Yes. And you end up also changing yourself so that you can fit in the square. It's like you're a circle, but you're trying to fit in the square. And only because you are lonely, you are depressed, and you just want to feel that feeling of belonging. Yeah. Yeah. And you end up being unhappy at the end because they're different. They're not your cup of tea. You're not theirs, and that's okay. And then it's like, okay. Yeah. But
and nobody has to have hard feelings. No, like I think that's where we run into a lot of issues is when we don't mesh. Yeah. And instead of just accepting it for what it is, we gossip or we negative talk about them. Or we talk behind their back and we're like, oh, so-and-so is so catty or so-and-so is like, you know what? Like, and then that's how drama starts.
Yeah. And you see, for me, I'm okay with being like different and I know how I am. So I know myself so well too. I just know myself so well. So I know what, what I like, what I'm able to tolerate and what I'm not. But And I'm also very accepting of others and their individuality and uniqueness about them. And I love that about people. Yeah. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you because you're not the certain type that I usually talk to or the kind of friend. No, because I feel like God calls us all to get along and be united for his glory, for community. But a lot of people don't think that way and don't know that. And they just are like, no, they'll feel offended or they'll feel like your light is too much for them or they'll feel like you're too good for them, in other words. Yeah. Or they'll start judging you because you're different, because you're not like them. And that's wrong because how are you supposed to learn and grow if you don't try to connect with someone else who isn't like you? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's how we learn and grow and learn more about other cultures. Yeah. That is a big one for me. I like to make sure that my friendship group is diverse.
Me too.
Lots of ages, lots of stages of life. Like when you come over to my house for our big group get-togethers, when we have like 35 people in here, there's different people. Yes, there's all different races, all different ages. We have older people, younger people, single people, married people. There's kids running around. There's people in here who don't ever want to have kids. Like, it is a whole mix of people.
And I love that. I think that's what I love about coming in here for parties.
Yeah.
Not only for the food guys, because I love to eat.
And that's the other thing. There's always a mix of food. Everybody brings their dishes.
And I love that because
different.
we're all learning from each other. And I love that. And I feel like that's how it's supposed to be, because that's how God's house in heaven is.
Yeah.
He created all of us. Maybe we're all different colors and shapes and sizes and, but we all want the same things. We're all human. We all have a heart. We all have red blood. I mean, we can all learn so much from one another's cultures and backgrounds and even our beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get flack all the time because I have friends that are different religions too. And even my husband and I are different in our beliefs, very different. Yeah. And so it's like,
but that's okay.
Yeah.
You can agree to disagree and that's okay. That doesn't mean that he's better or less because of what he believes or you're more or less because of your beliefs.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I have that. Have you seen my Love Thy Neighbor shirt?
Yes, you were wearing it 2 episodes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I don't know if I told you, but the guy at Home Good or at home when I was buying these mugs, he was like, they match today. We're not using mismatch mugs today.
I just want to give a shout out to my friend Melissa, who always watches her show. She is such a faithful fan. I love her. God bless her. You're amazing, Melissa. Yes. So she says she always freaks out when she watches me drink tea because she's worried that I'm going to drop the mug. So she's always watching the mug. She's always getting triggered by the mug. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to...
It's a little confusing because the fireplace is black and then the table is a dark brown. So there's this like optical illusion that like the table, doesn't in there. And so if you're looking, it might look like we're going to like drop it into thin air. Anyway, we got totally distracted. What was I saying? Oh yeah. No, right. Love Thy Neighbor shirt.
Yes, your white shirt.
Yeah, my Love Thy Neighbor shirt. It says like, love thy Muslim neighbor, love thy LGBTQ neighbor, love thy atheist neighbor, love thy all the things. Like it has like, love your enslaved neighbor, love your free neighbor. Like it has love your addicted neighbor. Like it has all these things on it. And then at the very bottom, it has a fill in the blank and it says, love thy fill in the blank neighbor. And I think all too often Christians are like the Pharisees in the Bible, where they thought that the church was only for holy people. And Jesus was like, is it the sick who need it, or is it the healthy who need a doctor, or is it the sick?
Oh, I could tell you so many stories about the Bible where Jesus sat with people he shouldn't have. He can't sit with us. It wasn't like the mean girls.
Well, the Pharisees were like the mean girls. Isn't the Pharisees? Right, yeah, because they were the ones that knew the Bible, the super scholars, right? And they thought they were better than everybody. Yeah. And when they saw Jesus hanging out with sinners, they were like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Don't you know who these people are?
If you really are the Son of God, you would know better.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be sitting there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You wouldn't be.
But Jesus didn't come to hang out with the cool people and
the know-it-alls.
No, Jesus came to save the broken. Jesus came so that we can have a way to the Father in heaven.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus, here's a story about Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was, I'm going to sing the little song. Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. Anyways, I don't want to hear me sing because I'm so out of tune.
She's a preschool teacher.
Yeah, well,
so
anyway, yes, I am. So I sing all day long, and my voice is like, I want to talk by the end of the day. Well, anyways, Zacchaeus was a small man, so he wanted to see Jesus come. And because he knew that Jesus was around. And when Jesus would go from town to town preaching God's word, people always gather around and they wouldn't let the children, see also. And Zacchaeus was like a child because he was small.
Yeah, like 4 foot something.
Yeah. So he was like my height, I guess.
I was about to say, so shorter than Rosie.
That's it. I'm gonna wear heels next time. No. But he was a small man. So when he saw that Jesus was coming this way, he got on a sycamore tree. And then when Jesus passed by, he looked up at the sycamore tree and he saw Zacchaeus and he said, "Come down, for I'm going to your house today." That really is how the song goes. Yeah. So, but Zacchaeus wasn't a good man. Yeah. Zacchaeus was a sinner. Zacchaeus was a tax collector. And if you know Bible stories, scripture, you know that tax collectors were, tax collectors were
the worst.
The worst.
Everybody hated them. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we don't even like paying our taxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
we still don't like tax collectors now.
I hope the IRS is not listening to this.
Right.
But anyways, well, yeah, so he stole from people too. So when Jesus was like, "Oh, I'm going to your house today." So people were like whispering all around, why is Jesus going to go to his house? I mean, he can go to someone else's house. Like, why? There was gossip. There was rumors. Yeah. Jesus didn't care. He still went to his house and he had dinner with him. And as Jesus was speaking to Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus realized that he had done so much wrong and he was bad and he wanted to be better. But you see, he wouldn't have noticed this or came to this realization if Jesus would have never gone to his house. And after that, Zacchaeus' heart was changed. He sold everything he had and he gave back to the people that he stole from, and he gave them double. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say with this story is that Jesus didn't come to sit with perfect people or for how much you pray. No, Jesus came to sit with you, and he's your friend no matter what you have done, no matter what you're going through. He still loves you, and this is why he's come. Yeah. And Jesus is your best friend too. Like, he listens to you. He won't judge you. He provides all your needs, all those voids. So also, I could tell you another story of Jesus just hanging out with. Yeah. Oh, I guess let's do the Last Supper. When Jesus had all these friends, we know Jesus had a lot of friends, okay? There was people that loved him, people that hated him, but he had 12 disciples, okay? Yeah. Jesus had a fake friend. So this is what I tell my daughter. Yeah. Because my daughter sometimes, she's learning about relationships, she's learning about friendships and how all that stuff works. And one time she was upset because one of her friends said something so mean to her, and that friend was just constantly always gaslighting her and just being ugly to her. So I told her, you know what, I'm sorry that, you have this friend, but I want you to know something. Jesus also had fake friends. Yeah. Jesus had friends that he loved so much because Jesus loved them no matter what. He knew their heart, and they still denied them. I mean, these people denied him. Yeah, denied him, backstabbed him, sold him, and betrayed him. And he still loved them. So
he knew all that was going to happen, and he loved them in spite of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess this is just to go, like, friendships there's all kinds of friends out there. And all these friends and relationships are always going to teach you a valuable lesson. It's going to hurt you. You're going to go through it. You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel sad. You're going to, everything, But if you choose to love them, not because of what they do or what they don't, but because you're supposed to love them, and forgive them, you'll realize that you have so much more peace inside of you because that's what we're called to do, is to love one another. Yeah. Oh, that's a scripture. Ephesians 4, that's 3.
If you're watching the video, she did. If you're not watching the video,
I said 4, but I held up 3.
When she said
no. So it's Ephesians 4:32.
I love that.
Love. No, actually, it's not love. It's be kind to one another. Yeah. So God calls us to be kind to one another. Whether they're good to you or whatever. Yeah. You know what? You just keep walking in your own skin. Stay firm to who you are. Stay faithful to who you are. And those friends are either going to stay with you or leave. And if they leave, give them a good goodbye. Yeah. Goodbye.
Good riddance.
Yes.
Good. I bid you farewell. Yes. Good riddance and good luck.
Yes. And the ones that stay, be grateful and take care of them. And that's okay, because some people come in your life for a season and a reason, and then they go.
Yeah. A reason and season in our lifetime.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
That's what I tell my daughter all the time. I'm like, not every friend is going to be here forever. No. I have my reason friends, I have my season friends, and I have my lifetime friends. And my season friends, a lot of them were in my life for the season of when Russ passed away, my fiance passed away. And they moved on. Nothing bad happened. We didn't end on bad terms. I still love them to pieces. I'm friends on Facebook with them. They reach out to me around the anniversary every year.
Oh, that's sweet.
But we're not close anymore. We don't hang out. We don't see each other, but they were here for a season. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for them. Yeah. So I wanted to ask something. Yes. I want to, because you brought up the Bible verse about be kind
to one another.
Yes. But does that mean that you have to put up with being mistreated?
No. With that verse and everything else, the way I see it is that you must protect your peace. Yes. And you have to set boundaries also. It's so important for you and for others. Like I can be kind to someone who's hurt me because that's who I am. But do they deserve my kindness? Maybe, maybe not, right? But I know that from the goodness of my heart, I'm being kind, not because they deserve it or not, but because that's who I am, and nothing's going to change that. Yeah. But I know that next time I'm going to keep a distance, and I can only let you into my life. I can only let you into this close to me. Right. That's you setting boundaries. Yeah. So, and I'll love you from a distance. That's what it is. And I'll still be kind. But once we cut that friendship because of certain things you did, you don't get to come back into my life like that.
You don't get to be part of the inner circle anymore.
Yeah. And if they do, then great. But that trust has to be rebuilt. There's actions that need to contribute to that. There has to be a lot of forgiveness. And I've forgiven a lot of people that I have allowed into my life. Yet I have boundaries, and I know what I'm willing to tolerate and what I'm not. And they know this as well. Because if I don't let them know clearly, then I have to let them know, like, hey, I love you and I forgive you. But, if we're ever going to
be the same.
Yes, exactly. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. But that's only God's, only God knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, you don't have to, what should I say? What was your question again?
Does being kind mean that you allow people to take advantage of you? And yeah, and I think that's important is like being kind does not mean that you allow yourself to be taken advantage of. It doesn't mean that you take abuse or neglect from a friend or being treated less than or being used or being dismissed, being left out. Like, I don't think that's not what God meant when he said be kind.
No.
And so I know.
No, because I feel like that verse when Ephesians 4:32, what it means is be kind. And I think in other words, it's like you can only control yourself. Mm-hmm. You can only control yourself. You cannot control what other people are going to think and say or do. Mm-hmm. And I think we talked about this in the last episode.
Yeah.
Yes, because I hear myself again.
I know you start to pick up on when you're telling a story and when you're repeating something. Yeah.
But this is the same thing. It's like you cannot control what other people are going to do, how they're going to react. The only thing that you have control of is yourself. Mm-hmm. Like
your reactions, your responses.
Your reaction, what you're going to say. You can control your words. Just because you feel certain things doesn't mean you have to say certain things.
Keep a lid on it. People. Yes. Keep a lid on it.
And it's not, no, and sometimes you do have to say certain things.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't have to say certain things. Mm-hmm. It's you learning to self-regulate your feelings that is very powerful.
Yeah.
When people hurt you, when people do certain things to you that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Or say things. Yeah. It's you own that. When you have that self-regulation, when you can control yourself, you win.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to toxic relationships, when it comes to bad friendships, when it comes to certain things. And people are always going to talk.
Yeah. Because it's easy to slip into when people talk badly about you or when people treat you badly, it's easy to slip into a pattern of mimicking their behavior.
Yeah. But if you're hurt because of what they said about you.
Yeah. But if you can instead be kind, turn the other cheek, be patient and not react.
Because God is working it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And not react in anger, in frustration, in hurt and pain. Yeah. But you can just take a step back and kind of take a deep breath, regulate your emotions, and respond in kindness instead. And maybe that looks like walking away.
Yeah. Being quiet. When you're biting your tongue.
Yeah.
When you really want to say something. And when you really want to defend yourself and say your side of the story because of the way they are painting you, it's hurtful and it's happened.
Yeah.
And it can happen. But if you sometimes you have to be the bigger, better person. Not because of them, but because for your own peace.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
I've had to walk away from some friendships because I was tired of being the bad guy and tired of putting on the smile and going over there and trying my damnedest to be kind.
The bigger person.
Yes. And be met with complacency, like that. It wasn't rudeness. It was just like I was just being ignored. Like I didn't exist. And so I finally was like, you know what? I love myself more than this. I'm not going to continue to put myself in that situation because I don't deserve to be treated that way. I don't deserve to be painted as the bad person in this situation. So I'm just not going anymore. And I love them. I wish them well. I wish we could be friends, but it's not worth my peace. Mm-hmm. And so I don't talk badly about them. Like it's almost like they exist back here. Yeah.
That is wisdom, and that takes a lot for you to be like, you know what, I love myself. This relationship is not serving me. Mm-hmm. It's not helping me to grow. It's not doing anything good for me.
Yeah.
And it's not that relationships you have to get something out of those relationships, right, because it's not. No. But if you don't enjoy yourself or their presence, mm-hmm, and they just, belittle you, yeah, you feel left out, you feel suppressed, or you just feel invisible half of the time, mm-hmm, because people do ignore you. Mm-hmm. And those things speak very loud. Mm-hmm. So when you are the bigger person and you just decide to walk away and not talk bad about them, mm-hmm, that is wisdom, and that is gold.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot for you. Because you could easily say,
well, I don't go over there anymore because of blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't serve anybody. That's not kind.
That's not helping you either.
It's not helping me.
No,
it doesn't do anything.
Being just like them.
Yeah. 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 So instead I've just pulled away, and I've removed that relationship from my life, from my belt. I always say friendships are your best weapons when it comes to trials and tribulations in life. And what I mean is that when stuff happens in life, your friends are the ones that they're the bows in your quiver, right? Like you go and you pull from it. When you are freaking out because you got to go to a wedding and you don't have a dress, you pull a bow, and or pull an arrow from your quiver, right? And that's your friend for you. For our friend America, it was Rosie. She's like, I need a dress. And so she pulled her arrow from her quiver, and it was Rosie. And you shoot it.
I got you, girl. Come to my house.
Like when
I got shoes, I got dresses, I got everything.
Yeah. In the Bible, I think it refers to children as arrows in the parent's quiver or something. I can't remember the verse, and I'll screw it up. I don't memorize the Bible verses. I know they're general. I'm not like Rosie. I don't have them all memorized. No. But
I'm learning too, guys.
But I feel like our friendships are our best arrows, because when we need someone, when crap hits the fan, when we're sick, when someone dies, when we lose a job, when we need a partner on a podcast, it is your friends that you turn to. Yeah. They are your tribe, literally. And it's so important to have those people around you, who can support you and who are cheering for you.
I got you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do this alone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs a friend. We're not saying you have to have like 20 friends.
No.
But at least have one important friend, one that is going to be there to listen to you, that has the best interest in you. Mm-hmm. Because just because they're listening to you and giving you advice doesn't mean it's the best one,
right?
And that you should take it.
Yeah.
No.
You
need wisdom. You need some wiseful advice, and you also need, I guess for me, when I want people to give me advice, I want it to be God related.
Yeah.
I want
godly friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want friends to tell me like, hey, don't do this because this is what the world, this is part of the world. No, I want them to tell me like, no.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, give
this
me
is what the word says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, but, I guess it's with friendships. With friendships or just even family members. Mm-hmm. Like some people, you just have to love them from a distance, and you don't have to be hateful and nasty. Like certain things are unnecessary. Mm-hmm. Like if you have nothing good to say, just don't say anything at all. Right?
Yeah,
but you can also be cordial.
Mm-hmm.
I can be very cordial with people that I'm not really, that I don't really vibe with, and that's okay. Yeah. And I can, because I know that there's coworkers or people that you're going to have to constantly be around with. Yeah. And you don't have to be nasty. They don't have to be nasty. There's certain things that can go without. Yeah. But you can be cordial, like, hey, good morning. Yeah. And, or like, I'm going to, you can be like that. Mm-hmm. And that also takes a lot for you to say good morning to someone you don't like. That's really when you Yes. But you know what? It's not about them. It's always about you. Yeah. Remember that. It's not about them. It's about you. Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you make friends?
How do I make friends? Hi, do you want to be my friend? I got a pencil. No.
Because I have a friend right now. She just moved to the country. Okay. Like, she's a city girl. She grew up in the city.
Where?
She grew up in Louisiana, in New Orleans. She grew up in New Orleans.
You just went to New Orleans.
I did. It was so fun.
You bad girl.
I know.
Or should I say, you bad friend? You didn't take me.
I know. I should have studied you in my suitcase.
I love you. I'm
it was so
hold
fun.
That against you.
I know. It was so fun. Sidetrack real quick. We were supposed to do a college tour with Desea, with my daughter. And we couldn't find Tulane. We found Loyola, which is right next door to Tulane, but apparently Tulane was under construction, so we couldn't get into the parking lot. It was all fenced off, so we couldn't even see it. And so we ended up touring. We went to Loyola, and then we just drove around the neighborhood. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the same college, just a different campus. Yeah. And so we drove around the Tulane area and just kind of looked at what we could. And we ended up in some of the neighborhoods. And then I said, I really want to see the lower Ninth Ward where Katrina hit and where it hit the hardest, right? Where the major flooding was. And it was just so sad that I was looking at the aerial pictures from before Katrina, and it was before Katrina, it was house, all these little houses, all very close-knit together, right? It looked like a very close-knit community. And now there's one house here, one house there, one house over here, finally a new build over here where someone's finally rebuilding. And it broke my heart. And then I ended up getting a book. It's called One Dead in the Attic. And it's about Katrina. It's a news anchor. No, he was a newspaper writer. And he was in New Orleans in the days after Katrina. And so he's just writing. It's basically his diary.
Wow. And
it's really sad because New Orleans.
What is it called again?
One Dead in the Attic.
One Dead in the
Attic. Yeah. Where is it? It's it was my mouse earlier. Oh, it's on the, I think it's One Dead in Attic or One Dead in the Attic. Either way. But it was really sad because you had these tight-knit communities in the lower Ninth Ward, in the 8th Ward, where people were neighbors and they supported each other. And then Katrina hit and everyone was evacuated. People died. And now that neighborhood is bare bones. There's hardly anyone there. But anyway, sidetrack because that made me think of how in an instant, your whole community can just be washed away. Physically and people.
Mentally.
Yeah.
In situations in life that you have no control of.
Yeah. And so I think it's important for people to know how to rebuild their community. Because for us, it wasn't Katrina. It was moving to a new city.
Yeah, it's hard.
For some people,
it's hard to find your people.
Yeah, and for some people, it's entering a new phase of life. Maybe you got sober, and now all of your friends that you used to use with, you can't be friends with them anymore. Or you
are a new mom.
And that's what I was going to say next.
you have to make friends with moms now.
Yeah, because everybody says, like, I'm not going to change when my baby's born and everything's going to be the same. But I'm sorry to tell you, it does.
Motherhood does change you in some kind of way. It matures you, makes you see the world differently. Yeah.
And you can't go out partying on Friday night with your friends at the club
Friday night
with a newborn.
Or diapers and breastfeeding or just sleeping. Yeah.
So how do you make friends in a new season in life? I know you said, do you want to be my friend? Here, I have a pencil.
But I like to joke around. I'm very playful. So for me, that always works. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I can talk to a rocker. We could be best friends.
No. Me too.
No. I don't know. I'm just, I make jokes all the time. Yeah. When I see or meet people, because I feel like it helps them to relax, and me too, you know. Yeah. And if they take a good joke or a lame joke, they take it as a good joke, then they can laugh and we can be friends.
Yeah. So,
and if they get like, oh, that was a bad joke, I mean, we can probably still be friends, but it just depends on people's personalities. And because I mean, you know, people are just different, and that's okay. But I feel like it all just depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing. But I normally just, I don't know. I think it's that's a hard question for me. Maybe.
Well, it sounds like you're saying to be genuine, like be yourself.
Just be yourself. Just like you being yourself. Like I was like, I love that because I can see who you are, and I want to be friends with someone like you. And so not everyone's always like forward with who they are. Some people like to put up
a little bit of a wall.
Right. Yeah. And that's okay. But and sometimes you have to dig in because there's gold. There's like those good friends. And the reason why they have walls up is because they've been hurt, they've been betrayed. Yeah. And we all know what it's like because everybody at one point of their life goes through that. Yeah. So, you know, and for me, I respect that too because I know what it's like. Yeah. But I take it slow with everyone. Like, it's like baby steps. Like a simple hello or hi, I just moved here from Louisiana. Like, you know, I came here because I moved or I just got married and so. You know,
trying to find some common ground. Yeah, like be yourself.
Just share yourself. Yeah. Share yourself. You know, you can be at the park. I've met friends at the park when I'm playing, have my kids playing. I've met people, you know, while I'm shopping. I meet people at the restaurant because I talk to waitresses. I talk to everybody. Yeah. Yes, I talk to people at the gym too.
And all of those things prove that you have something in common with this person. You have some common ground. Like at the gym, you're both working out. At the park, you probably both have kids. Yeah. At the restaurant, that could be a little bit more tricky, but to find some common ground. But being genuine, being true to yourself, finding some common ground. Yeah. Starting small. I think another important one is to keep trying.
Yes, keep trying.
Yes.
I think another way that you can make friends is join certain things you like to do.
Hobby groups.
Yes, because when you go to these gatherings, you have something in common with the rest of them. So then that's already you stepping into that work, common ground. So you can be like, hi, we're crocheting today.
Yeah, like a knitting class or a scrapbooking class.
Yeah.
I know
that class. I mean, you can, you know, you start talking about what you're doing at the moment. And then from there, you can go into something a little bit more personal or just keep
trying.
Yes, what you're doing. Like, for example, like if I'm here and we're both, I don't know, we're talking about this kimono, right? Oh, that's a nice color on you. I love it. Oh, I love your hair. You compliment someone. And compliments always warm your heart and they break down
the walls.
Yes. Yeah. And then you can say, oh, well, hi, my name is so-and-so. I just wanted to let you know you look amazing. I compliment people all the time because I'm not a hater. And I love, I love talking to strangers all the time. Yeah. My husband's not like that. He gets annoyed by that.
I'm the same way. I talk to everybody.
Yeah. But you can start with somewhere like that. Compliment someone else, and small talk can turn into a big talk or more of an intimate talk. But it just all depends on the person and what is happening and where you are at.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
But it's those baby steps. Keep it going. Keep it bonding. It's like a little circle. Don't stop.
Yeah. In AA and in Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, they say keep coming back. It works if you work it.
Oh.
And I think that is very relevant to friendships because what I did was I signed up for Connect groups at Shoreline.
Yeah, me too.
And I went to 7 different Connect groups. And I just I didn't just go once. I'd go multiple times. I would go at least 4 or 5 times to each Connect group so that I could actually build those connections, which is what you're talking about.
And sometimes it takes longer, not because of you, but because people need more time.
Yeah.
To unpack and to feel comfortable, and that's okay. We have a friend, Dage.
I was going to bring up Dage.
Okay, I brought her personally. So Dage is our friend, and she is an introvert.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you were talking about walls and how people might not open up because they have walls, I was going to say, or because they're introverts. And I was going to bring up Dage because she's an introvert. She's going to probably kill us for talking about her so much on our podcast.
We talk about our friends here so much.
If you're our friend, you're free game. That's it.
Well, here's the thing. Dage tells me every time that she is an introvert, but I never got that from her because when I talked to Dage and when I met her, she was sitting next to me, and I don't know, we were laughing and we were just talking.
Yeah.
But then again, I am half introvert and extrovert, so I know
you get it. Yeah.
Yes, and I respect that. But I know that for introverts, it's really hard, and it can be overstimulating sometimes just to even be in a place where there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I guess I'm just more of, like I told you, I'm that type of person that I see someone or I see something, and I guess I can, I like to make people feel welcoming, and I like to make them seen, and I like to talk to them and get to know them individually. And I'm just that person that I love to take my time with them, and I'm okay with it. And some people, I get overstimulated sometimes because sometimes they're more of worse than me. And I'm like, whoa, slow your roll, Where I'm like, hey, okay, I'm going to go home and just sleep now.
They drained your battery completely.
And that's okay. But I mean, find your group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I went to a few Connect groups, and there was nothing wrong with the people. It was just that we were all in a different season. She's over here cracking herself up.
I'm still I can't believe I'm talking like this. Woo! Okay.
Oh, Rosie. See, this is why I love you on the podcast. So, okay, final point.
Yes.
The reason that it's important to build healthy relationships, and Rosie is cracking up and proves my point exactly, is that healthy relationships help you. They propel you, whether it's through a storm.
They push you.
They push you towards your goals.
They get you out of your comfort zone.
They get you out of your comfort zone.
And if they're like me, I'll embarrass you in a good way.
And I was praying and praying and praying about what to do with this podcast, what to do with my coaching business, what to do with all these things. And I kept coming back to, it's time to partner with people. It's time to partner with people. And you and Anna were the ones that kept coming to mind. And I was like, okay, but I don't know what role. And then I was like, finally, it just came to me. Rosie on the podcast, and Anna helps me with some of the behind the scenes stuff, which she does. I toss ideas around with her. She tells me, hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do that. Yeah. She's a lot of what I post online is like inspiration from Anna. And so, but you have brought such joy and such laughter to the podcast, but it took praying about it, right? Like I prayed about it and prayed about it and prayed about it. And so I think it's important for people to know that friendships, they don't just serve like a superficial role in your life. A lot of times God is putting certain people in your path to help you in some aspect of your life. Maybe that friend is going to be the one that teaches you how to breastfeed. Maybe
teaches you patience.
Yeah. Maybe that person. Yeah. I know some of our friends, they have taught me patience because I want to strangle them sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
But if you will open yourself up to relationships and not lower your standards, it's just like an actual intimate relationship. Like we don't lower our standards for our husband or for our wife. Like don't lower your standards for friendships.
No.
Because healthy relationships are there for a reason, to hold you up when you can't stand on your own, to propel you forward in your dreams, or to help bring you to the next level. And you serve that same purpose for others.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so it is a give and take. And it may not, one friendship may be a lot of give, but guess what? There's going to be another friendship that pours into you more than it takes out, so that you can pour into that other friendship.
Yeah.
Not all friendships look the same.
No. And they don't have.
Yeah. I have America and I probably see each other once every 3 or 4 months now, but I love her.
I see her once a month. Don't be jealous.
I know. I know. I need to be more intentional, but we're both in grad school and I get it.
About that on my way over here. I was like, oh my God, America and I meet up once a month, and I love that because we catch up and we're in each other's lives. And you don't have to see them every day or every week, but it's just like at least once a month. It's good to get together
and touch
for
base,
brunch, for dinner, for lunch, or a small coffee date, whatever, just to catch up and just so that you can keep that a bond strong and continue to grow and, and flourish. And that's great. We, for our Connect groups, we meet up every other week, and I love that. And then, because our lives are so busy, and that's okay. But you need to make time for friends, because when you make time for friends, you're making time for yourself, and you never know who needs to hear you, or if you need their prayer, or you just, it's okay to talk to your husband, but you also need a friend. You need someone else, because someone else is going to tell you different things. Or going to help you see in a different perspective.
Yeah. And no one person can fulfill all your needs.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. But I think we covered it. We talked about the importance of building healthy relationships. We talked about how to make
set boundaries.
Set boundaries.
Yeah.
We talked about how to make friends.
Yeah.
And we talked about the benefits of friendship. So yeah. Guys, thank you for listening. We hope that this episode brought you some wisdom, some joy, some laughter. We hope you laughed with us. I know I always crack up laughing when I'm editing these things. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video with someone. We are trying to get to 1,000 downloads on the audio. So I know more people watch the video than listen to the audio, which I think is backwards for me. I'm like, how do people have time to watch these videos? I don't know.
I force them. I share these videos so everybody will watch this.
Yes, but yes. So we need 1,000 views or downloads
share with your mom, your best friend, or your friends. Even with your husband. My husband loves watching these, and he shares it too. He's so supportive.
Thank you.
So you need supportive friends, and one supportive friend can help support other friends.
Exactly.
Yes.
But we appreciate you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.
Watching. You can visit the show notes for ways to connect with us, visit our website, all of those good things. Go like us on Instagram. We are at Bella Grace Co. Bella Grace. The Grace has a Y in it, like the color gray, CE. And yeah, we're also on TikTok and all the good things. So just go see the show notes and follow us everywhere. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.